What's going on there, Gotcha Gang? Kawaii50 here with another War of the Visions Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video. Today, in today's unit analysis, yes, I said today twice, we are gonna be covering one of the greatest protagonists in Final Fantasy franchise, period, Ramza. Now, we're going to be going over all of Ramza's unique abilities, everything you can do to make your Ramza the best Ramza he can be, and we're going to talk about what kind of role Ramza is designed to fill on your team. So let's go ahead and get into it. So simply put, Ramza in general is an S+ tier character designed to be not only a supporter for your entire team, but also optimally a magical attacker. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of those maxed out stats. At all levels and jobs maxed, Ramza's defining stats are a 264 in attack and a 239 in magic. He also has a move of 3 as well as a jump of 2, so mobility on the more vertically challenged maps is not a huge issue for this madman. On top of that, we can take a look at Ramza's unique ability, his master ability here. Oh, let's go back as I went the wrong way. Okay, so Ramza's master ability right here gives him max HP plus 10% and slash attack plus 10. Normally he's got a 2160 for his max HP without this skill, so it gives him a pretty formidable setup, all things considered. Ramza's HP is further augmented by his Trustmaster reward here, Ramza's Outfit, which grants him 422 HP, 8 defense, and 12 crit evade. It also grants him an equipment ability called Entrust, which recovers an ally's TP. You can see it's got some solid range on it, and this really does help cement Ramza's abilities as a supporting character. Ramza, of course, has 3 jobs available to him. He starts with his main job from Final Fantasy Tactics, the Squire. I know a couple of people are upset that he doesn't have a more endgame job from that, and they sort of wanted to see Mercenary Ramza, but Ramza's Squire class actually brings him a pretty solid base set of abilities, but we are not going to be using it as a sub-job. He has 2 other sub-jobs available to him, the Spellblade and the Ninja as well, both which grant him another solid slew of support abilities. We're going to talk about the optimal setup for him, but overall, if you are looking for a good sub-job for Ramza, you are going to want to give him the Spellblade. And we're going to go over exactly why when we talk about abilities. So looking at Squire's main commands, which I got the list up for you right here, Ramza does get inherently to him Dawnblade, which deals moderate damage to a target, Shimmering Blade in the US. A lot of them have had their names changed. I'm just going off what the Game A has right here for us. He's got Wish, which restores his own HP and restores moderate HP to an ally. Pretty great support skill. When healers can heal themselves on top of healing an ally, that's a big win-win. He gets Dual Break, which deals heavy damage to the target and reduces their attack and magic for it for 3 turns. Sort of like TG Sid's Crush abilities. Very, very potent there. He's got Shout, one of the premier support abilities from Final Fantasy Tactics, which increases the attack, magic, and brave for Ramza and all allies within the area. And he's got Triple Attack, which is just okay, deals moderate damage 3 times to the target. Not super worried about that, but Shout, Wish, and Dawnblade are easily Ramza's top 3 abilities from this set. Now you can look here, we do have a couple of other abilities from Squire's subcommands, but these abilities aren't nearly as great as what Squire offers at the core. Stone, I'm sure you all have been through Mont Stone Throw Hell on auto. Ramza has things set up the same way, and we definitely do not want Ramza to be as a part of that. He's got Cheer, increases brave for allies in an area, that's okay. Same thing for Yell, which increases an ally's speed. He does get Move +1, which is a pretty solid early ability, and when you're leveling Ramza, you definitely want to equip the JP Boost ability until he is able to max out all of his skills. Very, very strong, especially if you bought that JP Crystal card from the shop and are using a support JP Crystal on top of that, you're able to farm JP for Ramza a lot faster than other people. Now, the reason we're taking Spellblade as Ramza's sub-job is because he gets a lot of benefit from his pretty solid magic stat, and augmenting that even more with other abilities, with allies, with the correct weapon, is going to make Ramza a pretty significantly powerful powerhouse. He's got, of course, Bioblade, Banish Blade, Taunting Spell, but the big heavy reason is Banishka Blade, which deals heavy light magic damage to units within an area, and on top of that, it deals extra damage against Dark-type units. Ramza already deals extra damage to Dark-type units, so having Banishka Blade in his arsenal makes him a really, really powerful Dark Slayer. As for Ramza's support abilities, yes, you do want to take Acquired JP up as your base, but you're going to end up adding Move +1 later on when you finally get his Squire job to level 5 or higher, but Move +1 is going to overall be supplanted by a different ability from the Ninja Tree, a ability known as Shukuchi. Shukuchi grants not only Move +1, but Jump +1 as well. It is a strict upgrade from Move +1, and I highly recommend you take it over that. As far as Ramza's secondary ability, once you're done using JP up and you really want to go ahead and move over to something else, we've got a couple of options available to Ramza, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll over to them when I finally can. Some of you might be tempted to take Shadowrunner, raising Ramza's agility and luck. That is all well and good, but considering we want to keep Ramza around not only to support our allies, but to deal a significant amount of damage as well, I've really got to recommend you give Ramza Providence of Darkness over it. So that will raise his magic attack as well as his dark resistance. Dark-type units aren't going to be dealing as much damage to Ramza, and he is overall going to be able to stick around longer and execute all of those Dark-type units for you, while at the same time providing support to his allies. So if you're looking for a final set of support abilities, once you get all the JP you need for Ramza, you are going to give him Providence of Darkness and Shukuchi as well. And that should make him pretty mobile, and on top of that, able to tank a lot of that magic damage. As for Ramza's reaction abilities, he's got 3 available to him. Of course, Counter Tackle, one of the signature abilities from the Squire, has a chance of counterattack while taking damage, and a 1-panel knockback for whoever Ramza happens to strike. On top of that, we've got Poison Barb from the Ninja Tree, which has a chance of inflicting poison for 3 turns whenever Ramza takes damage. Personally, my recommendation here is going to be Magic Guard from the Spellblade Tree as a chance of damage reduction when Ramza takes magic attack damage. A nice solid bit of flat damage reduction on Ramza is going to make him even more capable of tanking those spells and just make him an overall big asset for your team. A lot of this kind of seems like it's referencing a pivotal moment in Final Fantasy Tactics, which of course brings us to Ramza's Limit Burst. Ramza's Limit Burst is of course the most powerful spell in Final Fantasy lore. That is Ultima. It deals non-magical damage to targets within range based on his magic stat, and more importantly, it has a guaranteed chance to hit the opponent. Now, the reference I was talking about, in order for Ramza to learn Ultima in Final Fantasy Tactics, he had to get hit by the spell while he was his Squire class and survive it. So I kind of feel like the devs have made his entire tree sort of a little bit of an homage to that moment. Ultima, very, very powerful Limit Burst, and really, you can see with everything Ramza's kit is sort of building towards, everything Ramza's kit is sort of striving towards, we really want to focus on getting that magic stat as high as possible. Now, in order to favor that, you really want to focus on giving Ramza any sort of magic type sword you are able to craft. As you can see right now, I'm using Nagnarok, a magic type Nagnarok specifically, to just add an extra 15 to his magic, an extra 20 to his attack. Overall, this is all centered around building Ramza as strong as possible. Of course, I'm using an armor right now to overall get his armor skill up for his Trustmaster, but ultimately we'll be switching to a sort of accessory-based item instead. As for what type of accessory item I'm leaning towards, I'm focusing on something at the moment a little more towards the vital side, just to give Ramza a little bit extra HP, keep him around so he can support his allies, so he can continue to deal damage, because you deal 0 damage if you're dead. Anyhow, that's my overall look at Ramza for you today. A very, very powerful supporter, a powerful magical attacker when he is fully leveled up, and a unit that is overall completely and utterly worth your time. Now, if you don't get Ramza during the first round of the Final Fantasy Tactics event, don't worry, because it is going to get a rerun in the future. I mentioned this for Sidolphus Orlando as well, and you are going to be able to get Ramza shards again in the future. So don't worry about going ham. Just if you can, get him now. Don't worry about maxing out his his shards. 3 or 4 is going to be fine if you really, really want to dig into it and grind on this event, and you can definitely get the rest at a later date. But of course, I want to know down in the comments what you think about Ramza, what you think of the way I've recommended to build him. If maybe you've got other suggestions that you think might help people out as well, go ahead, let me know. I'm always open to new ideas. I'm always open to figuring out different ways to build these characters. I'm just presenting what I think is the best way to build them based on the information that I have received. And if you have pulled Ramza, let me know how your Ramza's doing. Let me know how far you have leveled him up. And if you are excited for the Final Fantasy Tactics collab in the future, let me know which of the 3 units coming you are most excited for. Agriaz, Mustadio, Delita. Pick your favorite and let me know. This is Kawaii50 again, hoping you have a phenomenal day, and we'll see you all in our next video.